Okay, for you pistol experts out there, probably a lot of people do know this, but I don't think a lot of younger people know this. So you think the Glock is the one that invented the safety inside the trigger? Well, hell no. Here's an example of a 32 Smith & Wesson. That's a 32 Smith & Wesson. It's a rimfire cartridge, not to be confused with 32 ACP, of course. It's fired in a revolver. It's got a rim on it. This is a 38 Smith & Wesson, not to be confused with the 38 Special. These are both top break revolvers. They're made by Iver Johnson, Iver Johnson Arms and Cycle Works. Can't believe it. I guess they made bicycles too. I think they're from the 30s or the 20s. Made in Massachusetts, USA. These are top break revolvers. They both open up from the top. And the thing is, they're both double action only, both concealed hammer. These are designed to be pocket guns. Now, you look at this hammer carefully. If you can see that focusing in. You can see there's a little bit of a tip on the end there, like on the top part of the, on the top part of the trigger. If you look at the trigger closely, you see a little bit of a tip. If I try to pull this trigger back from the bottom, it won't pull. I got to stick my finger in here, in the actual trigger housing, and pull back, and then you got a double action pull. Otherwise, if you're trying to pull on the bottom of the trigger and you don't actually depress that little safety on that trigger, it doesn't work. These are pretty damn neat. Actually, they stopped making these though because they're top break. Top break, I guess the problem was maybe if you wear this out on the top here, you know, from constantly opening and closing it without it being oiled properly. And of course, the way you close it and open it also has a lot to do with it. If you're trying to press, like if you lift up from this side and you press down from the front side, it closes a lot easier. Try to press it down from the back, you're putting a lot more wear on that. So, also keep it lubed. I'm probably going to bead blast these and refinish them with like a spray type of, because they got a little rust on them. Won't take too much, like a spray type of, what do you call it, like, not anodizing, but they got some like mil-spec stuff that's 2-part epoxy spray. That should work on here pretty well. They might be brown color or something. I don't know what I'd come at. Maybe a black, matte black, Parkerized finish. But yeah, these are nice. These are nice little weapons. Did fire them a little bit, not a lot, because you know they're not really. I don't know how hard it is to get parts from. These were actually the thing. This was the thing everybody carried back in the 20s and the 30s. Either the little 32, and a lot of people say it's nothing, but God, you tell me anything is something. Believe me. And it's a centerfire cartridge. That's the other thing. It's more reliable. It's got, you know, it's not going to ever freaking screw up on you. You got your 5 shots. Just pull the trigger. Hammer's not going to get caught up on anything. Gun's not going to go off inside your pocket because of the way the safety trigger is. And same thing with this, with the 38 Smith & Wesson. Kind of, you know, I kind of figured I'd put this out here because I don't really look on what YouTube actually puts out, but I know a lot of people are putting out all the latest, greatest new tech. To me, this is not a bad weapon at all. You know, and actually, I don't know if they even sell these. I don't think they sell these top breaks anymore because, but if you notice, they're a little bit quicker to load, I think, in my opinion. It's like just like breaking open a shotgun. All your rounds will spit out with the ejector, right? And they just work. They just fire. Double action only. You can leave this in your pocket. No hammer's going to get caught on anything. The only way this trigger is going to get pulled is if you get up on the upper part of that trigger. You see that little nub right there? If that's focusing in really good, right by my finger. You can't even pull the trigger from the bottom part of the trigger. If I'm pulling from down there, that ain't it. You got to press from, but it's just straight back. Just straight back. You got it. You got it. Not supposed to dry fire these, but a couple times is okay. You don't want to sit there all day dry firing a revolver, that's for sure, without snap caps in it. But yeah, these are pretty damn neat, and you know, it's a little bit of a tidbit I figured I'd put out there for people that are Glock fans and stuff. And it's like, although it's not a Glock, but I guess that it's an idea that's been around a while. The safety inside the trigger. It's been around. I think these are from the 20s or the 30s. They might be from the 20s. They're definitely prior to 50. They're definitely no later than the 40s. I know that. And this was the thing that everybody carried back in the day. Either the 32 like this, and these weren't too much money. Not a lot of money. And they look pretty when they're brand new. I mean, here you got the, all nickel plated and all that kind of stuff. Pretty damn corrosion resistant up to a point, because you could see that the corrosion resistance only lasts so damn long, right? But still surviving today. Now, maybe I won't even screw with them. I don't know. This one I probably won't screw with. This one looks okay. This one, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Still a fairly solid weapon, though. The hinge on it's pretty solid. That was the other thing, too. You had to watch with this hinge getting loose up here, but it's not really... here it is. How many decades later, it still functions fine. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. So, anyway, figure that's pretty kind of an interest to some people that are out here with the new tech. And, they know back in the 1980s when Glock came out with that safety in the trigger, everybody was thinking it was brand new. Oh, wow, what a cool idea, oh, wow. Well, I guess it's been around. It's been around. Of course, Glock came out with a lot more things besides the safety in the trigger, and, the polymer frame and all that, and the striker fire system, but still, this is some pretty good tech to have. Even this, simple, Simon says. Pull the trigger, it always works, right? It's never going to freaking have a stovepipe. It's never going to have any kind of problem with the slide coming back. It's never going to have a problem with the trigger, the hammer getting caught up on anything. It's all smooth. And it's got some pretty damn nice sights on it, too. Nice big fixed blade on the top, very easy to aim in. You see the sight on that? That's a substantial sight. That is a substantial sight. Pretty much aim that sucker in pretty good. Anyway, figured I'd point this out. A little bit of an interesting tidbit that a lot of people don't know, because it's way before their time. This is even before my time. So there you go.